Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Zube here. This video is going to be a little bit different. So what I'm doing is a lunar report for somebody, one of my clients who gets a lunar report every month. And a lunar report, it's like an emotional imprint of the areas of your life that are going to be active that month. They're really fucking crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy. So anyway, I've been doing them for this person for a while. I'm going to leave out all identifying factors or whatever, but basically every single month, the moon returns to the same area of the sky that it was when you were born, okay? And whenever it returns to that spot, whatever planets are interacting, like the snapshot that is created in that moment is like an imprint that is infused into your birth moon, okay? And so for the month, it'll kind of lay out your emotional experience because that's what the moon represents, is our emotions. So anyway, I'm just going to do these the way that I regularly do them, and you all get to be voyeurs or whatever. They are $25 a month. And if you're interested, please reach out and let me know. And here, I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to use the name Gina just because I don't even know, but I have a feeling I default to using names a lot. And so if I'm like grasping for a name, I'm just going to say Gina. Okay, so first I'm going to share the screen. Okay, so here's the report we're going to do. Got a little smaller. Alrighty, Gina. So here we go. Move me up there. The very first thing that I always look at is we have the moon right here. So that is the most important planet in this chart. It is in the second house. The second house rules our finances and our values. So you might be feeling emotional about money this month. Here's the very cool thing. The first thing that I noticed is we have the sun over here in the 10th house, okay, at 24, almost 25 degrees. And the moon is at 21, 26. So that's a little bit over a 3-degree orb, but the moon is moving into a trine. We've got a blue line here. So that's a really good aspect. That's a really wiggly line. And the sun is your heart, and the 10th house is career and reputation. So right here, we've got the second house of finances with your emotions, and the sun over here with like your heart over in the 10th house, which is career. To me, what that feels like is that you're going to have a good month as far as work goes, okay? And emotionally, you'll be feeling okay about money. The one thing I was kind of looking at is the moon is squaring. So we've got a red line here, Neptune. And Neptune is in the 5th house. That's creativity, children, romance. Now, Neptune is it's a planet like about spirituality, but also dreams, things that are dreamy. When it's squaring the moon, you don't have to feel that really harshly. You know what I mean? I mean, if somebody was dating, it could be like you might be deceived by somebody who comes across as charming or whatever, but like it in your case, it feels more like you might overspend because we've got finances here and romance, children, creativity over here. And so there's like this dreamy area of romance and children and creativity, and the moon over here with emotions. So the moon might be like, hey, like we're spending a lot of money on all this fun shit that we're doing, and we can always make our way around that, right? So anyway, but there's just a square there. Moon, Neptune, um, the simplest way to put it would be a little bit of confusion between the house of finances and the house of romance and children and creativity. So the moon, that aspect to Chiron is pretty far off. I just want to look at the aspects of the moon first. Okay, so we're done with those. The other thing that my eye kind of jumped to is up here in the 11th house. You have a lot of stuff going on. So in the 11th house, that is friends, associates, groups of people, collectives of people. It's also like a collective vision or humanitarian effort. Now, Mars and Mercury are conjunct. We've got Mars at 1151 and Mercury at 10 degrees, 15 minutes. So but Mercury is moving fast. So that conjunction is actively approaching. Mars and Mercury together, they can be a biting tongue, right? A conjunction is almost kind of a more neutral, like they get together and we just see how those energies blend. Mars is the warrior. Mercury is your minds and your mind and your thoughts. So you might be like rapid firing thoughts and ideas, especially if it's toward like future projects or any kind of humanitarian things that you might do. But it's also no fucking nonsense, you know? So if somebody irritates you, that'll come out with Mars conjunct Mercury. And it's not necessarily that you're being a jerk. It's like a more of a speaking your mind kind of energy. Now, they are both coming off of a square to the nodes of the moon. Okay. So we've got the north node over here and the south node, they're always right across from each other over here. And the south node is what we're not trying to focus on right now, which is interesting because that's where your moon has been near. It's like emotionally you might be wanting, or you may be emotionally having feelings about money, but it's not necessarily the focus, what we're supposed to be focusing on at this time. So that's just something to be mindful of. So we have the south node over here in finances, and then we have the north node over here, and this is just for this month. They'll move around every month pretty much. So we have the north node over here in the 8th house, and the 8th house represents debts and death, you know, things that we owe people, energetic or otherwise. So this Mercury conjunct Mars, look, is creating a T-square with these guys. And what that feels to me is like the energy of your mind and your warrior together could lead to letting go of things that you might be clinging to, which can even be draining old friendships, or or letting go of debts, or letting go of projects that are really taking up a lot of time and energy, that maybe you've been sort of emotionally clinging to. But that was kind of one of the first things that jumped out at me. You also have Venus here. And Venus is a benefic also. She just arrived in Libra, which is one of her home signs. And so she's really happy. So that's going to mitigate the harshness of all of that I just mentioned. Venus is a benefic, so you might just find luck with the people that you're around, and in some way, shape, or form that may help move you from this emotional clinging to old ways of like old values, finances, and stuff like that, and moving more towards like letting go, transforming, releasing, like kind of death card energy is the 8th house. So the other thing that I noticed is that this Mercury and Mars over here are moving into a trine with Uranus over here in the 7th house. The 7th house is marriage and partnerships, business partnerships, significant others. So that would be like really significant others. Uranus is cool because that's electricity, it's breakthroughs, surprises. So it's like something exciting could happen in your marriage partnership or in the business partnership area, that somehow this forthright, direct thought and communication is either fostered by that, or it could also look like you speaking your mind collectively may inspire this breakthrough or independence or whatever in the other. So that's just something, we've got something going on with like freedom and excitement and breakthroughs in the marriage and business partnership area, and this direct communication and thinking over in your collectives of people and humanitarian efforts area. Yeah, it's like just speak your mind. And if you say what is on your mind, that's somehow going to create or foster a sense of freedom and independence that may be beneficial in the area of business partnerships. There's also something, there's a lot going on this month. They're kind of every which way. So Uranus is, see, that's far off. So I'm not even really going to count it, that square. We have Saturn in the 4th house, okay? And then we also have Jupiter in the 4th house, along with the part of fortune, which is like an area of fortune in the chart. It's a calculation, not a celestial body. But the 4th house is your literal home, your house, your home within your body, like your sense of security, kind of your roots, your foundation. And Saturn being in here sometimes means it can be a little rough going. Like there might be things that you have to do at home, things that you need to take care of. There's a little bit of grind when Saturn is involved. But the cool thing is that we have Jupiter there. So Saturn is the greater malefic, which malefic means it's like a, I don't want to say a bad planet. Anyway, it's things happen when Saturn is involved that people would be inclined to consider negative. Okay. But it's always for our growth, right? So there might just be some strenuous activity around the home or your sense of security. But Jupiter is the greater benefic. And so Jupiter brings typically like expansion and luck and knowledge. So where you have Saturn, you have Jupiter, which means that might kind of like balance itself out, and you have the part of fortune here. So something might be going on with all of this that is actually making you feel really secure. And I don't, this could be home life and everything like that, but it more or less feels to me like maybe just this internal home. The last thing that I kind of wanted to point out is that we have the sun at 24 degrees, 57, so almost 25 degrees, and Jupiter at 27 degrees of Aquarius. Okay. So, and the sun is in Leo. So that is an opposition. It's an opposition between your career, house, and reputation, and your home life, your sense of security, and all that. So the sun opposite Jupiter, and the sun in Leo especially is about confidence. So this is like confidence out in the outer world. This is you on the world stage. That's why it's called career reputation. Like if somebody has a job, you're not going to find it there. You know what I mean? This is how other people see you. So like in the world. But anyway, so you're going to be kind of like glowing this month. And Jupiter in opposition to the sun, Jupiter is knowledge and expansion. So this sense of what I'm feeling like, and I trust you to know how to interpret it for you, but what it's feeling like with this Jupiter and Saturn and the part of fortune in your home area is that's Jupiter is asking the sun, like, what have you learned? What are you learning? And it's that you're more secure in yourself. I don't know, this month feels really confident for you. There's, I like the surprising elements. I like this connection between it's like freedom of expression among your friends, in your partnership, that encourages freedom of expression of your friends and your partner, business or otherwise, in turn. You know what I mean? It's this real trines are just symbiotic. So the only other thing I would point out, I've got, I'll just circle the other planets because I don't like to leave anybody out. So we have Chiron in the 6th house, not in any real tight orbs with anything. So I'm not going to look at it's not really connecting to anything, but Chiron in the 6th house, that's the wounded healer. It's kind of our insecurities and where we're like not feeling quite solid within ourselves. And that's in the 6th house, rules your daily schedule and routines. So you might just kind of feel like that's almost like can I keep up? I don't know if I can keep up with this. You know what I mean? It might be kind of a fast-paced month. And then you have Pluto over here in the 3rd house. Again, not in a real tight aspect off of anything, but the 3rd house rules your mind. Also, it rules your mind, your thoughts, your neighborhood, the people that you see every day, what you go out and kind of do every day, short-term travel, short distance travel. Anyway, but Pluto is transformation. It is sextiling over here to Neptune in this creativity area. And Pluto and Neptune really rebirth things together. So whatever it is that you're experiencing over here as far as creativity and children, and just this is the fifth house is the house of joy, just having a good time, might make powerful breakthroughs, especially with like subconscious thoughts, maybe finding a subconscious thought or belief that you might need to kind of work on, or rebirth or something like that. Pluto also rules our subconscious thoughts. So anyway, that is what I have for you this month. Overall, you know, we've got the moon. I'm just going to give a quick rehash. We have the moon. Emotionally, we might be kind of feeling about our money. But this month, the focus is to let go of debts, let go of, you know, energetic debts, otherwise kind of the death card energy, release things that are not working. We have excitement among collectives of people and in your relationships. The sun is shining in there with you out in the world. You're just kind of like lighting up out in the world. We're learning. We're really hanging in there and in the grind in a way that's making us feel really secure at the moment. And that is helping us shine. Yeah. That about sums it up, Gina. I guess I didn't say it at all. Anyway, also for everybody else who watched, this is literally how it goes. I just kind of shoot the shit about what your month is going to look like. This did begin for you August. Wait, what is today? Today is August 17th at 11:32 a.m. East Coast time. And then that will be for like the next 28 days or so. So this month has 31. So it'll probably be right around September 15th, 16th. I'll be getting you the one for next month. Anyway, I love to hear feedback and I hope you have a great day. Peace. Namaste.